Alright, my name's Josh Fletcher. I personally have gone through an intense injury and physical therapy process that opened my eyes to the physical therapy profession and in turn has led me to pursuing a career in it. From my personal experience, I'd like to share my story and experience and how that led to my future goals. I believe there are four main points that everyone should know. There's the injury, the rehabilitation or physical therapy process, where it's led me today, and then where my future is looking forward to after that. I'll now take you through the injury. First and foremost, everyone should know that shoulder injuries are one of the hardest to recover from fully. Full strength is usually not restored from them. And in my case, full range of motion was not restored because of the extent of it. So the injury occurred during my third district football game of my senior year. I was tackled after catching a pass and dislocated my shoulder posteriorly. The kid who tackled me fell directly on my back, adding some extra weight, which in turn increased the damage of the injury. I'm going to show you a quick video of it, and then I'll talk again. So as you can see, that was probably the most normal tackle that you've ever witnessed, and for some reason, just the way it happened, my elbow was directly in front of my body, and so when the kid landed on top, the head of my humerus dislocated posteriorly and was sitting back behind my scapula. This, according to Dr. Jelsma, who was my surgeon, caused a very unorthodox amount of injury. I tore 3 portions of the rotator cuff, 2 of them completely and 1 partially. The subscapularis and the supraspinatus were torn completely, and then the infraspinatus was partially torn. I also shredded the capsule, 50% of it, and then had a slap lesion on the back half of the labrum. This led to very extensive surgery and physical therapy process that brought me really close to the idea of becoming a physical therapist because of how involved I was in the process. The surgery was done, like I said, by Dr. Richard Jelsma at Baylor Scott & White Surgical Center in Sherman. He said the surgery should last an hour to an hour and a half, but when he got in there, there was a lot more damage than expected, and it took almost 2.5 hours. After that, most shoulder surgeries, the rehab is 8 to 12 months. He said that he would be surprised if mine was between 12 and 18 months of rehab. I actually got out quite a bit early at 8 months because I was doing well and I was going down to school. So Mark Labhart, Clifton Van Noy, and Ann Hess were the physical therapists and 2 PTAs that assisted me in my rehabilitation process. And they explained to me how limited I was on exercises because for rotator cuff injuries, they would recommend this, but because I had torn the labrum and the capsule, I couldn't do those. And for labrum injuries and capsule injuries, there was exercises I couldn't do because my rotator cuff was torn. So they involved me very extensively into the process of figuring out what rehab I should do. I had to communicate with them very closely on what I felt during each exercise, how it hurt, what felt wrong about it, what felt right about it, how if I moved my arm up a little or down a little, it affected it. And so working with them, I felt as if I was, a physical therapist as well, because I was creating my own exercises with them. So now that you understand the extent of my injury and how involved I was in the process of rehabilitating myself, that changed the aspects of my life significantly. After the injury, I lost all opportunities to play collegiate sports anywhere. All coaches that had communicated with me got ties with me as soon as I told them that I was injured and couldn't play my senior year. So therefore I chose a school solely on academic purposes, location, and then just what I liked. That's why I chose Texas State University. I have made many new friends and down there, and I look to complete my bachelor's degree there and then move on to Round Rock. I also have many personal experiences in the physical therapy world and connections with people that will last for years. I know that if I need anything, I have a PT and 2 PTAs that will provide me with anything that I need. I have many observation hours, which I know that I'll need in the future, that they are willing to sign off on. And so I'm ahead of the curve in my educational aspect, in that I know what all I need to do by talking to them, and that observationally I can go to them, for any more hours if I need it. I plan to get my bachelor's degree at Texas State University, then move down to Round Rock to get my doctorate in physical therapy. I would then like to open my own clinic in the future after hopefully working underneath a renowned physical therapist for a few years, just to observe and learn from someone who's been in the field for a while. I would like to hopefully do just sports-related injuries in the future, and maybe shoulder research, since I was so close to the shoulder aspect of it in my own personal experience. I hope that everyone can learn from this, that setbacks aren't always as bad as they seem in the time. They can always lead to new opportunities. Just to review, I discussed, my injury, my rehabilitation, where it led me today, and then what my future holds because of it. And then just remember that things look horrible in the moment, but if you just take a step back and, open your eyes, it can show you where you want to go, what really matters, and humble you for the rest of your life. So take it with a grain of salt, and always look at the bigger picture in times of adversity. Thank you, and have a great day.
You're a lawyer, you're talking to the judge.